Alright, what's going on, guys? Nick here from Velocity Trading. Man, it's been a while since I recorded any sort of video. Most of the content I've been putting out lately have been live streams, so it's good to get back. Putting up a daily recap. Today I had a fantastic day this morning trading. I made over $10,000 this morning trading ARAV. I had a pre-market long on it. I'm going to dive into that trade and tell you guys what I was seeing, how I made $10,000, how I knew this was going to go on a rip, and how I also, did predict that that this thing would go on a massive dump afterwards. So let's dive into that. All right, so let me pull up my my chart here. I'm gonna show you guys my entries and exits on ARAV. Let me also show you guys here my my profits. So you guys see here ARAV made just over $10,000 on the trade here on ARAV. And I'm gonna pull over my entries and exits here. So you guys seeing here, entering ARAV right here, 1590s. You could see some selling some here at 20, selling some here at 21, selling here at 23, and selling some here at 25. So scaling out, paying myself along the way on ARAV. Was thinking, maybe get over 30, fill that gap, because we do have a gap to fill to like 35, 36, but didn't want to get too overly greedy. It was up $10 per share, and you guys can see here, I was only risking about a dollar per share here on ARAV, so I was in 1590s, risking that $15 mark with massive upside. You guys see there, my final take profit is $10 per share, so almost 10 to 1, on my return there, on my risk reward in the trade. So really maximizing my gains there, letting my winner run, and usually I have like 2 or 3 of these big time home run plays a month. So if you guys haven't already, make sure you guys are checking out our free Discord chat. We have a free chat room. Links to be down below in the description of this video. So make sure you guys are checking us out there on our free chat room. So it's gonna be down there. Definitely check us out. Big community. We're growing here. We have tons of great traders. We have experienced traders, and we have some newer traders. And all these plays are being called out. This morning, Dano was calling out ARAV. The news came out at 7:20 before it even hit my scanners, and we're all jumping in early. We're getting in down here. We're not buying at $20. We're getting in $15. And we're selling at 20. We're scaling out in the 20s. And most of these people are buying up here, so you really got to be careful where you're buying. You get in some deep trouble if you're starting to chase these low flow plays at top. So let's dive into this play here in ARAV. Let me pull up a E-Trade chart. I do use E-Trade for charting, so I'm gonna pull up an E-Trade chart here. Just very familiar with it. Just been using it my whole trading career. So I'm going to use it right here. All right, so ARAV, ARAV. So before we jump into this, we like to know what's going on in the market. The market psychology. What have we been seeing lately? So lately, what we have been seeing in this market, I haven't seen it like this. I don't think I've ever seen it like this in my almost 4 years of trading. So started off with like NXTC. NXTC really kicked off like the mid cap, large cap party. So we're seeing a lot of these mid cap and large cap stocks that are lower in the float, that have a high institutional amount of ownership, and they're easy to borrow. We've been seeing these plays go on massive rips and runs. So we're almost seeing that like small cap algo. You're starting to move towards the mid cap and large cap. NXTC really kicked the party off here. Last week it ran from $25 to $109. Insane move here. This was a low float stock on NXTC, and it had had some positive phase data. So that's been the trend lately. Mid cap, large cap stocks that are lower in the float with high institutional ownership. Most of them are easy to borrow names. So you guys remember, easy to borrow, easy to blow up, and they're coming out with positive phase 2, phase 3 data, and NXTC really kicked that off. Then the following, we saw CNST. CNST as well, going from $18 to 45. I caught this one. I made $5,000 on CNST. This is my other big trade of the month. Then what did we see? KRTX just the other day. Look at this KRTX once again. Same trend. Low float stock. Mid cap range. Rangey between like $8 to $20. Moving up on I think this was phase 3 data on KRTX or phase 2. I'm not sure which one, but I think it was one of those going on a massive rip. It hit about $150. It's like life changing, guys. Like, especially small accounts or any account really. I mean, getting in this, and I mean, if you were able to ride it up, I mean, that's some crazy stuff. I mean, if you did, but this is definitely account changing, life changing plays. Can be made in this market. So there's big time potential in this market right now, especially on these bigger names here. I am primarily a small cap trader, but I mean these things are trading like low float small cap stocks that I'm used to. They're not your typical mid cap, large cap. These are low float volatile stocks here. So not too much of an adjustment for me, but this is where I'm most of my eyes are on. Then just yesterday we saw MYOV. MYOV was yesterday's play. You guys can see same little range here. This one was a little bit thicker, a little bit bigger in the float, but still had some nice volume. You can see 72 million in the volume, so the volume making up for the bigger float. You can see the other ones, the volume was like 10, 15 million on the day, but MYOV here did 72 million in the volume, making up for the larger float, the thicker name it does have. So MYOV was yesterday's play. Nice move here. I know some traders in chat caught it, come to life caught it early in chat. So nice play. So just wanted to go over that, go over the recent runners, just give you a little brief your history about what's going on behind these moves, what we're seeing on them. So now let's dive into my trade on AAV on ARAV here this morning. So ARAV, you guys saw on my charts was entering right around that 1590 area on ARAV. So getting in right here around this 15, or is it like 1590 area right here. You was entering 2,000 shares right on this candle here, and was riding it on up to 20. You guys saw 20, 25. I showed you guys my entries and exits before, and on ARAV. So what was going through my head when I was buying this play. So ARAV, I was thinking, I just knew the market psychology. I knew the market was, chase everything. We're seeing a lot of buyers come in, and people who missed the previous runs, right? So people who may have missed KRTX, people who may have missed MYOV, people who may have missed NXTC. They're like, oh, ARAV, similar statistics, low float, positive phase one news. This is gonna be the next big runner. So we have all these longs who are having FOMO. They missed the recent runs, so they all want a part of ARAV. So knowing that in my head, that all right, we may have this initial chasey type move. Let me get on quickly. So I was entering there low on ARAV. And you can see that's what we saw. We saw a lot of chasers buying this on up. Eventually, demand peaked, and it came back on down. But another reason why ARAV, I wasn't expecting this one to go supernova. Yeah, maybe you could say I went supernova, but I wasn't expecting this thing to go 30, 40, 50 like the other ones, because knowing the psychology behind the short sellers mentality. Short sellers like, oh, we just got burned on these recent runners, so I'm gonna be hands off on ARAV. Gonna sit out of this one. And also the borrows wasn't easy to borrow. All those names were easy to borrow. ARAV, I think there were some borrows at my broker, but it was expensive. I know most brokers didn't even have shares to borrow, so there's gonna be less short crowd. The biggest moves in the market come from big short squeezes. So we didn't have it as short infested here on ARAV. A lot of it was just long volumes, a lot of long chasers, and you could see how much it gave back its gains here. Longs got bagged, cracked under $20. All these longs who bought up here are bagged and just couldn't recover since. There's too much baggage overhead. A lot of longs, rolling over themselves and came crashing right on down on ARAV. Just couldn't reclaim. Tried to get back over here, squeezed into a circuit breaker halt, unhalted here, got rejected at this $15 mark, and came on down here on ARAV. And that was kind of the deal with this one. Demand just eventually peaked. There was no one left to buy. Not enough shorts to really squeeze it on out. So I just couldn't, go on that massive move, into the open. So that was kind of the deal with ARAV. That's why I got in behind the trade. That was the psychology why I've got in the trade. How I, kind of predicted this thing to go on a nice little pop, and then how I called it out, that I was going to come back on down. And so yeah, that was it on ARAV. So see CGIX here. CGIX. Let me just take a quick look at this play here on CGIX. This was today's small cap ripper. I didn't catch this one. I was really focused on ARAV, so just couldn't really give it a look on CGIX. Very focused on my trade there on ARAV. But this one made a really nice move here. Had a really nice pre-market climb here. Once again, we're in that FOMO market. A lot of chasers in this market. And had that nice pre-market move. Came out of the gates here. We were watching this on the live stream. And if you guys don't know, and we do have a free live stream every single morning on YouTube. So if you guys haven't already, subscribe and tune into my live streams every single day. I'm calling these plays out as I see them. Right out of the gates here, did had a weak volume open on CGIX, came back up here, tested that $5 mark, but it looked really weak above 5. If you watch the tape from the live stream at that $5 mark, just couldn't get over. Just the bids were lacking. And ended up having this big stuff move. So I'm sure a lot of short sellers were loading the boat here. CGIX, think it was gonna come fade on down, and had this really nice hammer candle here, and it had this huge volume push. So nice little short trap here. A lot of shorts were getting squeezed out over 5, and it squeezed into a circuit breaker hold. I was actually looking for an entry right here on this 1-minute pullback. Just couldn't get it. It was just too quick. Very low flow stock here on CGIX. Got halted here, and made a nice climb on up here, and almost hit $8. And as you can see right now, it's still holding these gains here. Definitely gonna be watching this one heading into power hour. So really nice move there on the small cap stocks. Good to see some more volume coming to these small caps, because lately it's just been these mid caps and large caps. And it's the deal here on CGIX. Nice little short trap here, and still holding its gains, doing some really nice volume on the day. So sorry if you guys hear any barking in the background. That's my dog. He's being annoying right now. But I think that's gonna be it for this recap, guys. I just want to hop in. I haven't made a video in a while. Want to put out this quick video, just update you guys on what's going on in the market. That we're seeing a lot more volume, these mid caps and large caps, the psychology behind it. Why these plays are running, and why some of these plays are giving back their gains. So just want to put this video out here for you guys. If you guys haven't already, like I said, tune into our live streams every single day, Monday through Friday. I do a YouTube live stream. And we have a free Discord chat. Links down below in the description. So definitely come check it out if you guys haven't already. And that's going to be it for this quick recap. Peace.